Live. So if you can just send us a quick message in the chat just to tell us if you can hear and see us properly, that would be amazing. Perfect. Thanks, Rafael. Thanks, Irene. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Jonathan. Whoa, so many people. Okay. Hello, guys from Holland.
Nice.
Great. Hi, Hank. Perfect. So nice to meet you all. I am Michael. I'm the COO of Waalaxy, and I'm here with Toinon, who
Hello.
is CEO of Waalaxy. And today we are going to, show you tons of new things that has been happening behind the curtains for the last 3 to 4 months. We'll start, of course, with like new features built into the product. You may have seen some of those that we announced straight into the app. And for other features that are still secrets, we're going to show you how what it looks like, especially like custom properties, something that you've asked for a lot of times. So right now it's available. But like the core topic of today is how to basically use AI in the context of like doing your outreach, how to make sure that you're actually doing using Waalaxy the best you can, and how like you're making sure that what you're currently doing, no matter if it's like targeting or writing your messages, are actually following the best practices that we have here at Waalaxy. For a quick reference, it's been 7 years now that we're doing the job. So basically, having automation software helping you on LinkedIn to find and contact leads on your behalf. We've talked to thousands of customers during live sessions. You may have attended some of them. We're doing those with Heloise and Felix. Sometimes we talked about like how to optimize your profile, sometimes how to optimize your targeting, and so on and so on. And we've realized that big part of that knowledge was just like in our head, and that now you're almost all using ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or whatever the AI you're using. And so we thought like, okay, we could like just build a skill with everything we know, with like the process we have, to go from a website to in the end a Waalaxy campaign, how to like spot who I'm going to target, why, what to say to this specific segment of leads. And so, yeah, we've basically built the skill. So we're not going to show you today like how to install a skill or like how to connect the MCP, which is also a new feature we have. Everything will be given in all the links you'll have in the email at the end of the event. So you have like a complete tutorial. But today we're going to focus on what are the news, what's a complete workflow from like this is my website to I launched my Waalaxy campaign, and along the way, of course, we reply to like all your questions. So if you have some, just drop them in the chat. We will be able to answer those live, or Chloe or Felix that are both in the chat might want to reply as well.
Yeah, and a quick clarification that we will not show you today how to use Waalaxy in basic features. We did it last week with a special webinar. Today we're focused on how to use AI with Waalaxy, Waalaxy API, Waalaxy MCP. So if you want to understand how to use Waalaxy correctly and follow the best practice, we will send you the replay into the chat and of course in the email following the webinar, so you can just follow the basic demo. And today we'll focus on how to use AI with Waalaxy.
Yeah, you'll have some demo videos on our YouTube channel, and otherwise we host live demos like almost every week or every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can either attend one of those and ask your questions there, or like just review one that we've done before.
Yeah, and stay until the end because we have two surprises for you. Of course, if you cannot stay until the end, we will send you the replay in the coming days. So don't worry, you will be able to see the two surprises we have. Yes, if you can stay until the end, do it.
Yeah. So let's start with what new features has been launched into Waalaxy. So you can see right now I'm on the Waalaxy dashboard. So quick things here. The first one we've launched a few weeks ago is the import panel. So right now what you can do is from one click, just basically have a complete side panel with all the possibilities that you had before in LinkedIn right now, it's all in Waalaxy. You can like import, especially people who are manifesting some interest signals, meaning that they commented a post, they liked the post, they are part of a group of an event. You can just like click on it, add a link, bam, Waalaxy will import all of them. So it's all right now in a complete new experience here. We've also added what we call a do not contact list, which was like a really high demanded feature. Why? Because like most of you are like either already have tons of clients or at least like a big file of customers or competitors that you don't want to contact with Waalaxy. So what you can do is just go to the do not contact list. You can import a CSV file with all those people. Waalaxy will blacklist them, meaning that you can't import them through like a classic LinkedIn search or another CSV import. We will automatically filter them out. And also, like if you're doing some data manipulation, like you're searching in a specific list or from the all prospects list, you're making sure that all those people are just like removed and cannot be added into a campaign. So it's really like a complete new layer of security for like your outreach in general. The other thing is you were asking for a better way to find emails because you were supposed to like add people into a specific campaign. It was taking some time, and I know. I mean, it was kind of a bummer the way we were doing that. So right now, you can like find any of your lead email just in one click, clicking on Find Email. And if you want to enrich like a complete list, you can just like select them all and click on Find Email. I mean, quite easy. Yes, I know, but like it wasn't in the app. So like right now it is, and you can just click on it, and it's done. The last thing I wanted to touch base on is when you open right now a profile, you can also see that you have new properties added to the side panel, which are what we call the custom properties. And you can find those as well into your settings, where you can basically create some custom properties. So could be simply like a data label that you need in your lists because you add prospects from another source than LinkedIn or Sales Navigator, or you want like a specific note on those people, or you are importing like some kind of specific things that are in your CRM, such as like the name of the list in your CRM, or you want to use those properties as custom variables because yes, we only had the first name, last name, and company variable, and right now you can create any number of variables directly by creating properties. So everything you create here, and by here, I mean from this page, from a prospect page, when you import in CSV, also we scan all the columns that you have. And if you want to create some properties, boom, it's done. When you import through the MCP, so we're going to show you that using Claude. You can also ask Claude to add specific properties to those prospects. Could be custom icebreakers, could be entirely custom messages. We're not going to like show you exactly how to do the custom stuff. We'll publish a video in a few weeks with like a complete workflow on if you want to highly customize all your messages. It's possible right now with the custom properties, but like it happens like a whole new world of what you could do with Waalaxy, integrating your current workflow or just adding AI on top of it. So that's, I mean, those are all the things we've shipped. And of course, if you go to integration here, you also have like the MCP and the API that have come up a few weeks ago. It's been like in the beta for a long time, and right now it's available. So you can now build any kind of workflow using Make, Zapier, anything, your own stuff, your own AI agent as well, and basically interact with Waalaxy to import leads into your list and campaigns at the same time. So that's really like the core feature here.
You probably noticed that our Chrome extension was removed from the Chrome Store a few weeks ago. The Chrome Store, yes, they changed their rules. So because the Chrome extension of Waalaxy was used to do many things on your LinkedIn account, especially manipulating the landing page, pulling data, etc. We were removed from the Chrome Store, which is quite an opportunity for us because we were able to integrate the import feature into the cloud. So now you can run any import of prospect from LinkedIn directly from the Waalaxy app without keeping your laptop open. So it's quite an opportunity, but we know that it brought a lot of issues, especially with Sales Navigator, and now we have a way to fix it. So you can reach out to support. We will give you the process to follow to be able to import prospect from Sales Navigator again. And in the coming days, it will be available to anyone. So don't worry, we really apologize for this service interruption. But yes, now it's fixed, and we're sorry for that.
So, Sales Navigator extension, yes. Right now, AI.
Yeah.
What are those skills all about? So, Anthropic, so the maker of Claude, released a few months ago a concept named Skills, which is like basically you're using AIs that are trained on general data and so are used for like general purposes. And when you ask them to craft messages, which we all do when we reply to an email or want to contact someone, because it's way easier, they are producing some like poor quality messages. They don't have like a specific approach because, again, they are trained for general use. So skills are a way to kind of constrain or give like guidelines to the AI to perform specific actions in a specific order with a specific prompt attached. So what we did is, from all the calls we had with you guys, we've put like all of that in a skill with like a specific method, and you can download that skill, which allows you to find the ideal targets from your website, turn any kind of target, could be from your website, or like you can just give it some a CSV file or like 5 or 10 customers you already have. It will identify a target group as well. It will generate all the LinkedIn filters that you need. If you're using classic LinkedIn, it will generate the LinkedIn URL that you can copy and paste straight into Waalaxy if you want to import straight away. But most of the time, it will recommend to use Sales Navigator because, well, it has more filters. So if you're not using Sales Navigator yet, it's also an opportunity for you to put your hands on it, because Sales Navigator allows you to add the industry filter, to add the company size filter, so the headcount, and those filters are quite important when you are doing your sourcing. So it will generate that. How does it work? So I'm going to show you exactly. So for example, I'm going to start with a website.
As we said at the beginning, you will have all the information to install the cloud, the skill on cloud, and how to connect the MCP, and every technical information and specific tutorials that you will be able to follow step by step on your side. And we will more focus today on how to use it and how it can help you to build your LinkedIn outreach strategy.
So we start with a website. So the thing is, that's something you already spent time on to design, to add data on it. So you can just like take the URL on top, copy it, and give it to Claude. We're going to use Claude for this example, just so we can show you like a whole thinking process. So classic website, what Lavag is doing, basically it's an AI agency for small and mid-sized businesses, allowing them to purchase an audit from their operations, like what could be improved using AI, what we could change. They can also like create the whole solution. They can also train your team. Well, basically, it's a use case we have a lot today with our customers. So selling B2B services, classic one. So we get the URL on top. I can copy it, and then I can paste it into Claude. So let me just share my screen, because right now I see you can't see my Claude. So it's going to be easier. Boom, boom. Once I have my URL, I can just paste it here. Yes. And I ask Claude to use targeting copilot, which is the skill we've made available for you guys, and identify the targets for this URL. So Claude is starting, and right now you always have 4 targets if you start with just like giving it a URL. You could also, again, give it a CSV file with some of your customers and ask it like to identify what kind of target group they are in. Then you have like the fit, so which is like, okay, Claude, assume that this target could be interesting for you. Who they are actually. So target means like what kind of problem they have. Then the who is how to find those people on LinkedIn, and what kind of pitch we could do for them. So the pitch is really the part that is going to go in the messages that the skill will also allow you to generate. So in that case, I have for support team running in repetitive tickets. I mean, that's a value proposition that you can find on the website. But I really like the second one, which is like manual back office ops, CEO, operation managers, founder. Okay, they said France. Okay, because indeed the website is based in France. So could totally okay. I'll go with target number 2. So Claude is like adding a bit more of details on each target. And the good thing here is you can exchange with him. So it's really important here to, that's what we want to show there, that those AI right now are designed to talk with you. So you should talk with them and not just like let the skill run and correct them at any stage, because you have an expertise on your target and your service that the AI doesn't have. Even like if it kind of shows that it knows tons of stuff, yet it's always best like to review what it does and basically give it like new inputs to refine. So in our case, I take the target number 2 and I simply like ask it, okay, go with target number 2. Then in the skill process, we always ask you, okay, do you want like messages or the LinkedIn search directly? So I'm asking for the LinkedIn search there. And after a while, Claude is returning me with like a complete URL search. So I can just like copy it and paste it if I show you that straight away into Waalaxy. Yeah, I'm not going to show you. It's better to stay just on Claude. Then Claude will often telling me that for it, the URL is incomplete. And indeed, because it's missing the industry. And indeed, when you're looking at a classic LinkedIn search, yes, you have some results, but you're missing out on the industry. So it always says like, okay, if you use sales navigators, you could add like this filter and this filter. So it's just a proposal. Like you have the search and you can paste it. One of the good thing here, when you paste a search in Waalaxy, in LinkedIn itself, I'm getting lost between like all my links. Yes, it's here. Boom, I'm going to share this one so you can see it. When you are performing a search on LinkedIn, LinkedIn always offer to perform the same search on Sales Navigator. So I've pasted the search here. Now I have like all the people there. And if I want to, I can click on search with Sales Navigator. So here, it will basically take all the filters I've already added, put them into Sales Navigator, and I can add just the new ones that Claude is asking me to use. So again, it could be headcount, it could be industry, and it could be something else if you feel like it. You can also always ask Claude to review its own work and see like, okay, is there something we could improve? Or like sometimes it gives you like really different job titles, and you say, okay, maybe I just want to contact those specific people because I know them well, and the other we'll see another time. Always great when you have like tons of results, especially on Sales Navigator, when you can see the actual number of results you have. If it exceeds 2,500 people, you might want to ask Claude to refine a bit. So we could do Sales Navigator, then we import the data into Waalaxy. So why should we import the data into Waalaxy straight away? Because Claude does not have access to any of the LinkedIn data. And that's something quite important here. It's like Waalaxy will act as a scrapper. So meaning that at least today, no AI can actually get the results from LinkedIn or Sales Navigator because they don't have access to it. It's not publicly available data. So you're using Waalaxy, and once it's done, you have all the people inside Waalaxy, and you simply like export all the list into a CSV that I give into Claude. So right now I gave to Claude the CSV file with all the people, with 50 people in that case, just like to see what's happening. And I've added, okay, they all work into this specific field that I've added on top of it because I was feeling like, okay, I may want to just see that. Automatically, when you give a CSV to Claude using the Waalaxy Skill, what it will try to do is clean the list. So why is it cleaning the list? Because most of the results that are especially like in the, let's say, range, yeah, from the 200 to 400 range, you start seeing like really poor results, meaning like profiles that are added to your search, but like are not really exactly the kind of people you want to add in your search. You may have people who like have stopped working. I mean, they are like they've retired, and they may add that into their LinkedIn headline, but like their current job title is still like CEO. Okay, but like a retired CEO is not your target. And so when Waalaxy is going to scrap all that data, you'll have it accessible in the CSV. You export it, give it to Cloud, and right now Cloud is able to like continue his work. So as you can see, it's checking all the data structure of the CSV, and boom, it's cleaning. So right now, 50 rows. I'm quite happy because they're just like one row with like a review. So for the first 50, which is like something always good because first 50 is kind of like the top profile that you can have. So in that case, it gives me like all the list. So you always have a split between what has been cleaned, what needs to be reviewed, what has been completely dropped. So you can like also see, and you always have the data if at any point in time you want to give it back to Claude or still import it into Waalaxy. There I have the clean list. I can download it and import it into Waalaxy. Or
on average, if you import 1,000 prospects, you will have at least 30 to 50% of false positive, which means prospects that doesn't match your ideal target. When you have the first 50, often they are the best, but when you go deeper into the search, you will have worse and worse.
Yeah, definitely. Once it's done, I can like ask Claude to craft the message, and that's a good question. Like when you're crafting a message, the interesting thing is how do you want to approach that? Do you want to give them a link, a trial, a reply? What's the purpose of that? So the approach here would be just getting a reply. So right now, Claude, again, it has a lot of context. And this is something you don't have like using Wami, which is the AI on Waalaxy that you may have tried, is because right now Claude has your website, exchanges you've had with him, the exact targets that you want to reach out to. And so right now it's crafting a complete sequence just for this target. So what is a good sequence for us? It's a connection request and then 3 messages. We don't recommend sending a fourth one, really no purpose. 95% of all the replies that you will get are going to be obtained in that 1 to 3 messages range. So what we want from Claude is an opener, a message actually like trying to qualify the lead, then a follow-up if you don't have a reply when actually giving the lead a proper CTA, and then a breakup, basically asking if this is the right person or not. So in that case, also, it's always good to have like a tool to play with, because if there is something you don't like in the message, you can just quickly change it. So the opener first time when you run ups, we are actually targeting COO, so it's great. And invoicing season. Okay, that's an angle. I'm not sure like we've decided on invoicing. I mean, that was one of the things, finance reporting, onboarding. Maybe we could chat with Claude about that. And you have like chasing missing receipts. Okay, so this is like a good structure because right now it's really talking about a specific pain point, and then you have the follow-up if you don't get like a reply with the opener. So again, the goal of the opener right now is to qualify the prospect. It will always return a qualifying opener. First message is about, does this person have the problem that I can solve? Then the follow-up, asking here just for a reply, because we've added like just getting a reply, but it could be like for a call. If it's a call, I always specify the duration of the call. And then the breakup, which is also customized with the current problem. And then a first name asking for, okay, is this, it's basically a routine question. Is this you or someone else? And you can copy all of that into a Waalaxy campaign. Then it's asking you basically to confirm, is this good for you? When I'm happy, I'm like, okay, can you import all the cleaned people in my Waalaxy? Boom, and now it's done.
This is where the MCP happens. So now Claude has a list of prospects with LinkedIn URLs and many data, and it can now send it directly to Waalaxy. So if you clean the list, now it will update it with clean prospects.
Definitely.
And you will not have to do this cleaning work manually AI will do it for you, maybe better than you would.
Yeah, and so right now, close like scanning. Do I have campaigns? Do I want like to import people? So right now, if I go onto my Waalaxy, boom, 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 which is right there, I have like all the people that are coming in my list. Boom, so they're all here. Oh, that's the previous list. So they're all going to come into the Lava clean, which is the list that I want. And then I can just like start a campaign with them all, explore all templates, and copy paste everything I've done.
You could
So
also
it's
directly
pretty simple.
import into a campaign. For example, if you already created it, you can directly from the MCP import it into a running campaign or a draft campaign. And it opens a lot of possibilities because we showed you one use case. But for example, if you're sourcing prospect from another database like Apollo, you're using the apps MCP of Apollo, you will be able to, from cloud directly, get the lead from Apollo and send it directly to a campaign. Or if you're using any other tool with, for example, intent signals, for example, a tool that watch people who moved from one company to another, or companies who raised money, and you will be able to have a cron, a skill cloud that will run, for example, every day, looking for a new prospect with some signal and send it directly into a Waalaxy campaign. Which means you can have Waalaxy campaigns running fully autopilot with the MCP.
Yeah, and the big thing here with what we've shown you is like when you've created that search on Sales Navigator, one of the good things is you can then into all of the campaigns that we're going to set up. So let's say like one for each target that Claude identified for you. It's basically linking the search you've made on Sales Navigator with Waalaxy, which is kind of like a hidden feature. But like when you set up a campaign at the add prospect step, you can hit from an auto import, you can select the list, and from there you can link a specific Sales Navigator lead list, or what we want to do here, taking a save search in Sales Navigator. So this will allow you to basically link your Waalaxy campaign with a Sales Navigator search. And every time you have new leads coming up in that search, Waalaxy will automatically bring them in the campaign and start reaching out. And that's what we want to show you today is like, just in like 1 hour using the skill and Cloud, you have multiple targets, you have multiple searches that you did not like spend hours trying to build or clean. Then you have the search in Sales Navigator, you link it to Waalaxy, you put your messages there, you click on run, and it's done. Waalaxy will do your outreach, will automatically pick up new leads and contact them on your behalf. So that's kind of like the most difficult step when starting is like, who should I really reach out to and how to find those people on Waalaxy. As Toinon said, the goal of having the MCP straight into Cloud is like you can talk to Cloud about other tools. So, for example, we are heavily integrated with HubSpot in Waalaxy. So Waalaxy can like export audio leads data at specific events that are happening in the tool straight from HubSpot. Well, HubSpot also has an MCP. And what you could do is link Claude to HubSpot, Claude to Waalaxy, and then you can just ask Claude about your current customer base. That's what we do here. So, for example, the last 3 weeks, I have meetings with big potential customers, and I've sent email follow-ups. Right now, I'm like, okay, a lot of volume. Who should I like reach out to on LinkedIn directly? Because I didn't get a reply from them. So I can just ask Claude, okay, can you go into my HubSpot, check like for the last 3 weeks, who did get an email from me, but like no reply yet. Claude will like pull all the data of those people, add them into my Waalaxy, into a campaign I simply name follow up. And the first message is clearly, hey, first name, no news from you since a few weeks now. So how's it going? Is the project still on? That's it. And it's a follow-up straight on LinkedIn. Then I can also add like another message, such as like something we recommend a lot, which is using GIFs. For example, SpongeBob alone in a coffee, always make people laugh, and actually you can get a report from it. So those are all the things that you could do, and like the whole process of being able to distinguish who you should contact and how to do that into the MCP.
So time for two surprise.
Okay, it's time
Yeah.
for two surprise. You also have, yeah, just to end on that.
Yeah.
The API indeed was open. MCP is just like a simpler way to connect with the API. But like with everything we've done with API custom properties, you're also able right now to build like heavy workflow using Make, Zapier,
Yeah.
and A10, and as well, Claude has the knowledge of how the API works. So you can also like ask it if you want to build something. Let's say like, okay, I'm into my CRM right now and I'm doing something such as like updating a lead status or whatever. I want this person to be like followed up on LinkedIn. Boom.
Yeah.
You can have a process that automatically adds it to Waalaxy, and it's done. Basically, the goal is to helping you build that kind of machine that will run with your own tool and LinkedIn through Waalaxy.
Yeah. A few people on the chat are asking if we can connect with specific tools like GHR or Obsidian. We don't natively connect with those tools, but using Make, N8N, or Zapier, you can do the connection and build heavy workflow where you will be able to pull data from one tool to and send it to another, or the opposite. So yes, we'll live in an era where almost everything is possible, connecting tools between themselves.
Okay, so yeah, it was like how to use AI right now with Waalaxy, with the new capabilities. Again, you can like personalize each messages if you want. You take your prospect list, you put it in Claude, you say, okay, for each of those prospects in the CSV, create a column with a message 1, column with message 2, column with message 3. Claude will like generate custom messages for all of those people. You bring them into Waalaxy or just ask Claude to do so, and ask Claude to create the custom properties that are message 1, 2, and 3. And then in your campaign, you just add at each message step one variable, which is message 1, 2, and 3. And that way, in again a few minutes, you have like a completely customizable sequence. And Waalaxy is just like the orchestrator, using our technology to basically do everything you need on LinkedIn. The surprises. Yeah, we've had a lot of questions about AI in general. Or maybe you want to go with the
with first thing.
Oh, yeah.
Many people ask for it in the
Good
chat. The MCP and the Open API are only available on the Advanced and Business plan.
Yeah.
You cannot use it on the Pro plan, but we have a promo code to share with you today, giving you a 30% discount on your subscription if you take it before the end of summer. So you can, yes, try the Advanced or Business plan, even if it's only for a month, to see if the MCP suits to you and if you're gaining value from it. So yes, I will share with you the code directly into the chat. And the second thing is, and maybe you noticed that our MCP is quite, I would say, we don't have a lot of features connected to the MCP. For example, you would need to draft directly the messages or pull the data from the dashboard so you can run analysis on your campaign performance.
It's normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
Because like in the process of doing that, we thought like, what if Waalaxy was like fully automated? Meaning that what if you could like just enter Waalaxy, enter your website, or like describe who you want to contact, and then Waalaxy does it all. Like that's it, done.
Yeah.
We find the list for you, we write a custom message tailored to like what the link is currently doing in their company, but like also based on their activity on LinkedIn, and only if it's relevant. What if like Waalaxy could then contact them and then reply to their messages until you get a meeting, a visit on the page, or whatever you want with them. And we were like, yeah, that was the dream of Waalaxy at the beginning, kind of like the get me clients button. You register and you just hit a button and it's done. We've built the whole system around automation, around scrapping LinkedIn, around like being able to send actions on your behalf on LinkedIn. But like this vision was always there, and we couldn't find like a way to really like put it into action. And so what we also did when we tried to set up the MCP was, what about we redesign everything from scratch and we'll launch a new product, which is Waalaxy AI, coming mid-September. And Waalaxy AI, for less than $100 per month, will find automatically the best leads available, draft messages for them, send a connection request, send the opener, send the follow-up is needed, send the breakup, reply to those leads, and making sure that at the end of the day, you don't have anything to do. We handle everything based on our knowledge on what works when we're doing outreach, and you get the meetings. So it's coming in, 2 months approximately. And of course, you'll be invited to the beta. So the beta will be a closed beta with like a special price to try the product. We're currently running some campaigns with alpha testers. And so it's going to be available again mid-September. You have some details on the website. I don't know if you share the link as well. So if you want to sign up to the waiting list, it's going to be a complete new thing, a complete change of paradigm. It's
and we started to use it internally, and we are seeing quite good results. Like on average, our customers get 16% of answer rate, and now on our first campaigns we have 30 to 60% of answer rate. So it's insane, just insane.
Yeah. So coming mid-September, you will be able to join the waiting list. We will not release the whole waiting list at once. We'll start with the top of the waiting list, and we'll have small batches of access so people can really try it out. So if you sign right now, you secure a spot for that time. And that's it. We've talked about new features, the AI workflow that we use, MCP. How to use Claude as your thinking partner when you're doing your outreach, the MCP, the API, the discount code if you want to try all of that with a 30% discount on all our advanced and business plan. Monthly, quarterly, yearly, you pick and you get the best discount you can have. And
they will have every documentation, every link we talk about in the replay, in the email. So don't worry if you didn't save everything. You will have a full summary in the upcoming email in 1 day or 2. So no worries, and see you next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much.